Morning.
We have Topps real estate broker Shloma Hecht.
We do.
How is Corona affecting the Crown Heights real estate from market?
It's affecting it in a big way. I don't know how much time I have. I don't know if this is like a 30 seconds Instagram. I can talk for an hour.
An hour.
An hour. Well, I think it's...
Talk about rentals.
All right, start with rentals. Especially the more expensive apartments, I think it's affecting it in a bigger way. You know, things are in the 35 range, coming down to more like 3,000.
3,500, you mean?
Yeah, 3,500. You know, those are getting, if you think of a 10% decrease on numbers, you figure 10% does a lot more on a $3,500 rental than if it's only $1,800. 10% is a lot less. So I think that's a good starting point. Obviously, it depends on apartments. There's obviously some pockets, even things that are more expensive, still getting ask rent. But I would say, on a general sense, the market's down toward.
So you could expect 20% off a rental.
I just said 10%. I don't know. You just jumped it to 20.
I pushed it to 20.
That's a little bit more. I would say more conservatively, at least 10% is it.
What about 3 months rent? Is that being thrown in or no?
It is. It is being thrown in.
So 10% plus,
well,
or are you saying the 10% is built into the month?
Yeah, sometimes they'll throw a month or even 2 months free. Let's say they're asking the gross rent at 35, but throw in 1 or 2 months, depending on how long the lease is.
So it ends up being like
3,000?
15 to 20% anyway if you throw in 2 months, no?
Well, 2 months, but let's say, everything's negotiable. Depends on what the ask
Are
is.
landlords less picky about the tenants and the credit scores and this and that?
That's a very good question. The answer generally is they not necessarily picky, because you don't want to have, it has to be a good match.
Right.
But I will say that I'm finding owners being less, tough on maybe things they usually look for, saying, listen, it's a tough market, I'll take what I can get.
Now, from market in Crown Heights, are there more people not moving in? Would you say the
Yes.
gentrified type of people are less coming or not?
I wouldn't classify anybody as one way or the other,
but
I would say that there's a little bit less demand, right now.
On the non-from people?
From and non-from, I think.
In general, overall?
Yeah.
So someone who's planning on coming here, moved to New York, decided now Corona not coming.
Yeah, either they'll push it off, they're not coming now, or maybe not Crown Heights, maybe they're thinking other options outside Crown Heights.
So usually, what's the vacancy usually in Crown Heights a year ago and today?
I mean, it's high. I don't only do Crown Heights. That's hard for me to
talk.
talk.
I just want to talk about Crown Heights.
Yeah. So I don't have all the numbers right in front of me.
Off the cuff.
Off the cuff, I would say the percentage is a lot higher. The vacancy rate.
Usually
right now
vacancy, what, 2%?
I honestly don't know.
No hunch. You don't have a hunch?
No, I do not.
What about sales, Crown Heights? Up, down, or flat?
I think there's also a lot to talk about on the sales side. I think that some of the renovated houses that people were dreaming, maybe the market was going up and up and up, and now okay, I'm expecting that number. But you know how it is. A project can take a year. You buy it, you renovate, and a year comes out, and now you're coming out in the middle of COVID. It could really affect the bottom line and how much something like that is gonna get.
So what would you give an example? Someone was expecting $2 million, now what are they, 1.5?
Yeah, if they wanted to, let's say, to make it a little easier, let's say they were looking for at the 1.5 mark, maybe now it's only 1.35 they're getting.
What about mortgages? The banks are easy, hard?
The mortgages rates are very low.
Well, what about getting approved? Are the banks more nervous, or they believe in the values?
I think they're being careful. I don't think they're throwing money out, but I do think if somebody has a decent, I know someone personally just now got a mortgage fairly easy, so it's doable.
But would you say that the main prime blocks in Crown Heights haven't been affected? Like
yes,
New York to Albany, Eastern Pirate Empire?
Listen, there's going to be in every part. You can say the same thing, not necessarily only in Crown Heights. In every market, there's definitely
the untouchable.
The untouchable, yeah. So it's going to stay strong. Maybe very small change, but it's
so the good deals
strong.
will be a little bit on the outside.
Yeah, it's always like that. You always got to go a little bit out.
So it probably gets hit first.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
What do you think about the East Flatbush market?
Well, I know it well. I actually lived there.
Okay, and.
Listen, it's growing. It's a growing community. It's definitely more affordable. So people.
But no train.
Yeah, well, train is something. People have bikes, people have cars. There's a lot of ways to get around.
Wouldn't it make more sense to move to Brownsville? Similar pricing with the train, or no?
Well, Brownsville, you walk to Crown Heights is what, 45 to an hour? If you live in East Flatbush, you could be in Crown Heights within 10, 15 minutes. It's very different.
So it's a train trade-off.
Yeah, I mean, that's one difference. I mean, I don't know that the marketplace delivers to Brownsville. I know they deliver to East
I'm sure they'll deliver any order, no?
What about the schools? I mean,
Right, well-
Swift, Babachu, Elaterra, you can get your kids right on the bus on the corner. Very different than Brownsville.
So East Flatbush is already considered part of the normal bus routes.
Oh yeah,
Even
for
though it's
sure.
spread out.
All major schools have buses that have the East Flatbush bus already.
So if you're going to buy today, are East Flatbush prices down, Corona, or not really?
No, I mean, whenever you go to a market that's not quite
Developed.
blown up yet, there's always upside. People who bought a year ago, anyone who bought a year ago, their houses are worth substantially more today.
A house just sold, on Lincoln Place, no? Were you involved in that deal?
Lincoln and what?
Albany
A lot
and
of
Troy?
Lincolns. Albany and Troy.
No.
I know a house
There's a
sold on Lincoln between Kingston and Brooklyn. No,
Recent-
sorry, Kingston, Albany.
Right. At what price?
Like 1-2 something.
So you expect that, or you expect to be higher or lower?
I think a little less. I mean, it's hard to talk about. Everyone who
Every house
buys
is different.
they should have a lot of blessings. It's hard to me to say what they got a good deal or a bad deal.
So 1.2 is Corona or pre-Corona, or the same?
That was pre-Corona. I would say things
Post?
are a little bit less.
Down.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you very much, Lemmy.
no problem.